Hey there, Blazer fans, and welcome to episode 38 of the Dragon's Den, a podcast for those that bleed green and gold. Today, I have one of the most prolific players in UAB football history. He played football for the Blazers from 2007 to 2010 at wide receiver, kick returner, and for a brief instance on the defensive side of the ball when he first arrived. That man is Mr. Frantrell Forrest. We have a lot to get into, so I won't keep you waiting much longer. No This Week in Blazer History segment at the end of the episode, so I hope you enjoy the conversation. Thanks for listening. All right, Blazer fans, I've got my guest here for episode 38 of the Dragon's Den, a former UAB football wide receiver and kick returner for the Blazers from 2007 to 2010, Mr. Frantrell Forrest. Frantrell, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. It's awesome to have you on. I'm really looking forward to kind of reliving some memories with you. I know you had a great career with the Blazers, so I'm looking forward to hearing some of your stories.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. When I looked at it, I said, man, I only have 4 100 games. I said, yeah, you just had 4. And I said, could have did way better. But just gonna take that. And I realized I was second in all-purpose yards, and I said, I was number 1 for a while. I thought. Then I guess somebody came along and took that. But hey, I'm just going with the strokes. So, I appreciate the thought. Man, those UAB memories was special all the way around.
Well, I will say it's a good sign, I guess, when I make those graphics and I have to decrease my font size a little bit to fit in all the good stats. So I think you did pretty good, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into it, man. You were born in Mobile, a hotbed for college football recruits. You went to Shaw High School.
Mm-hmm.
What schools were recruiting you out of high school, and what made you go to UAB?
Oh man, I was pretty much recruited by a lot of SWAC schools for the most part. My bigger schools, Memphis, UAB, West Virginia was my biggest school when Coach Rich Rodriguez was there. It's a few others, Louisiana Lafayette, couple others that I can't necessarily put my finger on. Just a couple, but not. I want to say West Virginia was my biggest one at the time. But the reason being, man, I was a young guy at the time. I had my first love over there at Alabama, University of Alabama at the time, and my mom was actually going through was that her second spell of cancer diagnosis at that time. So those were, that was probably my biggest reason, thinking I wanted to kind of be. She used to have to come to UAB for her treatments, so it was like, I can be here. Feels like home at UAB. My lady over here at Alabama across the street. So it was that was the biggest things for me that played the biggest part of me going to UAB for the most part there.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, I know it wasn't on my questions list that I had for you, but I know South Alabama was kind of brand new at the time. That would have been, I guess, a little later in your college career by that time, wouldn't it? I didn't know if South Alabama had reached out, but I think they were just a couple of years after you really got into college.
Right.
Correct?
They weren't where it was like off of scholarship, play football, 12. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to say that actually happened.
I think it was 2009.
They were fully established right there. I want to say fully established. I want to say right there at the senior year, because we came in with one of my guys, Courtney. He played receiver for UAB at the time. What's Courtney's last name? Goodness great. Next time I talk to him, he go kill me. But he was a 6'4" wide receiver. His name was Courtney. Came from New Orleans.
Okay.
Ended up going to South Alabama after leaving UAB after some time. So I want to say that was around our senior year, and that's when they were kind of fully established. Matter of fact, my Alabama All-Star head coach ended up becoming the head coach for South Alabama when they got going. He was the head coach, came from I want to say it was Mountain Brook.
Okay.
But yeah, so by the time my senior year hit, they were right there, established. So, but not, recruitment process, things like that.
All right. Well, in my research about you, I found out that you played on both sides of the ball in high school. You played receiver and quarterback some, but you also played defensive back. Which one did you like the most?
Man, to tell you the truth, it was an equal love, because I was a cornerback. I think I was just out there, just off of what I've seen on TV for the most part. Because it's when I was in high school, the coaches were just kind of. I was coming in with my head coach at the time. Freshman year was Marty McDowell, who played in the NFL, and I came in. They had freshmen just go up against varsity, not even just a freshman team, but freshman players or whatever, just coming in, and it was just a play I made at cornerback against one of the higher route runners at varsity. And I just remember my buddy saying, "Yeah, man, Coach McDowell said, who is that?" And then we was like, "Man, that's Frantrell." And it's my freshman year. So next thing you know, I get ready I start school and I look at the schedule. They updated my schedule saying I go to weight training 7th period. Yeah, Frantrell, you on varsity. And I was like, oh. Okay. So then 7th period, I get to, just go to weight training, no school. So cool, cool, cool. So that's kind of when I really felt like I got my feet wet. But I always like bombing on people. I always like just going up, catching the ball on people. It was, I love it. I just always loved that. Believe it or not, I even think that I'll be honest, but I probably would have been the first round free safety. And that's what my buddy Rashad Slaughter always say all the time. Play Trey, you was man, because I played safety in the All-American Alabama All-Star game. So it was like, Trey, you never missed a tackle. You got some of the best hands. Like you would just you killed. But yeah, man, it's an equal love. I love hitting. When I come up and lay that boom, just get the back then when you didn't get a penalty for it, you can come up and just. So yeah, man, it's an equal love. But I tell you what, I would give a slight edge to catching the ball over people. I love going up. I thought I did a good job of timing the ball and making a play on the ball all the time. And even to hear my friends say, "Man, Trey, you good on both sides," but it's something about watching you bomb on somebody, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's good. That's cool.
You redshirted your first year at UAB in 2006. UAB was still under Coach Watson Brown at the time. Your first year playing at UAB, in comes new head coach Neil Callaway. What was that transition like?
Believe it or not, it was more so seamless because my recruitment team from Memphis had came in with Coach Neil Callaway. So Memphis coached the Heltons. The Heltons were over there in Memphis, and I can just remember our offense coordinator at the time, Coach Helton Jr., the son there. He came in. He knew, as soon as we had our first meeting, and as soon as it was over, he was like, "I got you in a way." So I got you in a way, and so I was like, "Yeah, well, it was all meant to be. I came here, but you get up getting over here." So it was pretty seamless for me. There was a decision on what I wanted to do on either side of the ball. Started off playing at safety when I got here. So at the time, Will Dunbar, rest in peace to Ball Hog, man, a great, probably top 10 player, in my opinion. Man, he was the man at safety. So I'm like, okay, well, I can fit in. Then it was like a guy who took me for my visit was Brandon Register, big bro, Brandon Register, safety. So it was like, I guess what I'm trying to do over here. But when Brandon Register left, it was Will Dunbar, then it was Matt, my guy Matt was over there. It was a couple, and I just didn't feel like I was just getting that the playing time I think I probably should have got. Like I think I could have really contributed that very first year, redshirt freshman year. So it was a little transition there, and then they said, you know what, Trevor, I want to put you on offense, and that's what Lil Helton, we call him Lil Helton and Big Helton, but we call Lil Helton and say, I want to put your receiver, so put me receiver, very first play. I can remember running my very first route and getting smashed. I mean, I'm talking about go to run a route, and I want to say it was Cornell. If I'm not saying that right, Cornell jammed me up about 6 yards off the ball, and I was like, man, this looked bad the very time. They just put me over here, and I just looked horrible. And well, from then it was like, all right, get up, get better. Let's keep it moving. And I think I ended up doing a pretty good job.
So your first season playing, you only started 6 games, but you led the team in receptions, receiving yardage. and receiving touchdowns and all-purpose yards. Like most of your career at UAB, you played receiver and played a big role in the kick returns. Despite the team struggles that year going 2-10, what was your first season really like finally getting to play?
So much fun. Just I don't know. It seemed like almost like I feel like I was in a video game. I feel like it was just kind of like it's because I remember the first game, Michigan State, and I don't know how I ended up in the back at kickoff return, which was to me funny how I got the kickoff return. I just was at the back. I started at the front line, and I don't know how. Like I said, I got to the back, and Rashad Slaw was actually in the middle, who is the main returner, but they ended up kicking the ball off to me, and I actually had a good return, probably about 40 yards or so, 40, 50 yards at one point, and probably did pretty well after that on kickoff return. But had a couple nice plays at receiver too. I dropped a touchdown that should have been an easy touchdown in that game. I'm never gonna forget it ever, because it was just like I'm having a good game, like, but what's going on? So I got a few calls after the game, like, oh man, I heard you on the radio. You did good all purpose or all returns. You had some good catches and all this other everything like that. So I was like, that first year was to me amazing. It was I'm just this young, excited redshirt freshman. A great moment I remember is having that first kickoff return for a touchdown in UAB history, and after so many years, I want to say since like '96 or something like that, and we were down. As a matter of fact, was it Tulane we were playing? I want to say
I think it was. Yeah,
Tulane.
I think it was.
Had that kickoff return, and that sparked the comeback that we actually won because we were down, and we ended up coming back. Had a kickoff return. Then we got the ball back on. Then I think I caught like a 50 yard bomb on the sideline. Got us in scoring position. I think Joe Webb scored a receiving touchdown. We won that game. A lot of great moments. I think Mississippi State, my coming out party, I want to say. Joe had been injured, and we were also injured in the secondary. So let me say in the secondary. So next thing you know, before we got ready to play, we were so injured. Our defensive coordinator came to me and said, "Hey, do you kind of remember some of the defensive packages? That, if we put you at safety, play a little bit both ways," which I was really excited for. I was like, "Ooh, if they do this, they go want to keep me on both sides." I can just remember thinking to myself the whole time, "I'm gonna have at least 1 or 2 interceptions because they're going to throw this ball up. When that ball go up, it's always mine." That's just my mindset. I don't know if I'm gonna blow a coverage or not, which would have happened, but I'm not missing the tackle. I'm not going to miss a chance to catch an interception, and I think I'm gonna do my thing at receiver. But end up, a couple players end up coming back off injury, so didn't have to play in the secondary, which, like I said, I really wish I would have got the opportunity, but just to play both ways. But yeah, I had my coming out party. Joe was hurt that game, so it was kind of like, what's going to happen at receiver now? Because Joe was just, Joe's a freakish athlete, just God gifted and work hard, all that. That's big bro. But it was just like, man, I'm like, oh, I'm finna, like, it just, I just felt it, like I'm finna go out here, and because I'm so used to doing certain things in practice, getting some oohs and ahs for the way I used to go up and catch the ball and things like that at practice, but I hadn't shown, people outside of people saw me in practice. That was when I caught the ball. But yeah, man, I just remember the first catch on the sideline when I went up and caught it over somebody's head, and it was just like, okay, here we go. And from that point, I had Sam Hunt, superstar country singer. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Sam. And from that point, I was like, okay, Sam go always want to find me. Now Sam know he can just throw it up. And had some pretty nice highlights in that Mississippi State game. It was a great coming out part of that game. Houston had a great defense that year. I think I had like 96 receiving yards and a touchdown against Houston. Had a bomb on them. I remember killing somebody on the slant route. Oh my goodness, I had a nice slant route. I really remember that. But man, such a fun year. Had some, like I said, good returns at kick return. Southern Miss, I had too many returns. That was that. Oh my goodness, red shirt. I want to say that was the year we got really blasted. My red shirt freshman year, like
that was your sophomore
Okay,
season.
okay.
Yeah.
See, I never forget certain things like that right there. I'm gonna never forget. Like I had a buddy who I went to a camp with that played for Southern Miss, and we stayed close. Well, 2 buddies we stayed close, and he was a DB named CJ Bailey. And I just remember him, and I know I'm jumping to sophomore year, but I just remember him just like after all them kickoff returns, because we were getting blasted that game, and I was getting killed at kickoff return, like really getting just laid. And I remember him coming like, man, come on, let me help you up, man. I know this tough, and but yeah, I just thought about that. But to jump back to what's important, but yeah, redshirt freshman year, amazing, exciting time. Oh man, just great memories from it.
Well, your sophomore season, you kind of mentioned them both already, but your sophomore season, you led the team once again in receptions and yards. One of the biggest changes on offense that season was that Joe Webb stepped into the starting quarterback role with Sam Hunt graduating. Joe Webb played quarterback some while Sam Hunt was still at UAB, but what was the biggest difference in their command of the huddle and their play style?
Oh goodness. I would say so at that time I would give actually the better arm overall to Sam at that time. Between, like I said, my redshirt freshman and sophomore year, just comparing the two.
Mm-hmm.
At that time. Now Joe still had a great arm, but Sam was a good QB. I mean 6'3" roughly. 230. Sam could run that ball. Sam should have Sam could have scrambled way more than he did, and he was faster. Sam might have run like a 4.5, like probably, but he had a good arm. Like he really did. I believe it or not, I don't. I want to sound bad when I say this. I don't think it was just we didn't have quite the talent that we needed to support Sam. And if I'm not saying talent, maybe the consistency. I'll say that, I had my cousin, my big cousin was a guy by the name of Willie Edwards who played. And I thought he was pretty good, but there was things going on with Big Cuz at the time, which he's doing well now. So it's such a blessing for him. But we had, like I said, we had some nice guys, but I think Sam could have been a lot better. Believe it or not, you could have probably seen Sam on Sundays. He was really talented that way. But oh man, Joe was just, which one call him Baby Michael Vick, whatever you want to call him. He had a great arm, and once he get just a little inch, he gone. He running. He out of, and that sophomore season, it was his coming out party because you knew he could run for 100 plus. You knew he can throw for 250 plus. And he did it. He showed it. He was just great when it came to that. And I think he got better and better because, by his senior year, he was just this beast because he was more accurate with the ball. It was just a development phase I saw for Joe where it was just, he was the fastest, just one of the fastest players, one of the greatest athletes, but that arm talent just came between those two seasons. You saw the difference, which once again, he was really good my sophomore year, but it was a pleasure watching him grow in that consistency from QB. But the differences until you had two good quarterbacks, you had one that was just, he was born with something different. Joe was born with something different, and that just I think it worked out good for both. Though you got one that's doing well in music, you got the other who had a great career in the NFL. So those kind of two of the biggest differences there. This 6'4" freakish athlete was just something, you can't coach that.
Well, you had a couple of your best games of your career early that season in your redshirt sophomore year against Tulsa and Florida Atlantic. 2 receiving touchdowns and a kick return touchdown versus Tulsa, and you had 11 receptions and 2 touchdowns versus Florida Atlantic. What do you remember from those 2 games?
Tulsa. I did. I had a kick. I remember they have a kick. I'll tell you what. You want to know what I remember from that game? I remember before halftime. I want to say I had them 2 touchdowns before halftime. I had 2 touchdowns before halftime, and I remember we had a switch route called. I caught the ball at the back of the end zone. The band was kind of standing kind of over there. When I caught it, I did this little thing. Sometimes I used to do this thing. I almost fall on purpose because I caught the touchdown. Then I like kind of flipped and rolled forward, and I flipped the ball behind me as I was coming up, like on purpose. Like flipped the ball behind me, kind of got up, and they said incomplete. And that's and that's when I was like, what? Like I was so upset. And when we got into film, Big Helton was just like, hey, look, man, everybody in the world know that was a touchdown if you look at you catch the ball and do what you do. But this is why we don't celebrate and do certain things. And I was like, oh man. Oh, goodness. So if you want to know like what I really remember about that, like I said, I had a kickoff return, did well the receiver. But I remember missing a opportunity to have that would have been 4 touchdowns for that game or something like that. Yeah, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then I remember Tulsa head coach coming up to me. I forgot what school he was at, possibly West Virginia, but I just remember him just telling me, hey, man, my name is Coach, and I forgot his name, the head coach for Tulsa at that time. And he was just like, hey, I recruited you out of such and such, man. I wish I could have got you, things like that. So it was pretty cool. FAU, I remember a lot of reception. I remember just wishing, because we didn't win that game, but I think it could have been a lot. I think we could have won that game. I remember a lot of receptions, some nice yards and touchdowns. But I remember making a nice catch on the sideline that was reviewed, and it was like, Trell, you caught that? I was like, well, yeah. I mean, that's what I do. But out of those, I remember both pretty well. But I remember the losses stick with you. I always, we used to think it all the time, like, man, one more stop here and there we can score, or one more opportunity offense for this play we can do, So just kind of those things you think about sometime. Like I said, I reflect on a lot of my time back then, especially a few years. But I remember those, good games. I said that much. So from individual standpoint, but never liked losing. So
yeah. Well, UAB went 4-8 that season and was 9 points away from being 6-6 and bowl eligible, despite a bad loss to Southern Miss that you mentioned. UAB ended the season winning 3 of its last 5 games. Did you guys feel like you were going in the right direction for the next season?
Yes, really and true. I mean, just even getting to the point of thinking like, let's make sure we're recruiting, getting some people out here. Let's help Joe out. Let's get some players out here. Let's go get some stops on defense, and that's why he's just all the time like, and listen, I love all my guys, all my UAB family period, but all my UAB brothers on that football team. I'm just like, I wish our defense could get 1 or 2 more extra stops here and there sometimes. And it is what it is. We grown and we men and we competitive, but it was like, come on, give me an extra stop. Like, oh my goodness, it was just something that used to be like. I remember just hearing like what our defense was averaging a game. It's definitely not their fault because offense could have did more too. But I just remember, hearing like what our defense averaged giving up per game. It was just like, because it's tough to overcome it. So but it is what it is. And like I said, you don't blame just one side. We're a team, and we lost as a team. That's just what it is. So.
UAB started your redshirt junior season with a win over Rice before falling in the next 3 games. You guys then welcomed Southern Miss to Legion Field, a team that UAB had never beaten and had lost 70-14 to the year before. Mm-hmm. I know the feeling around the fan base about the dislike, and that's putting it mildly, for Southern Miss. But what was the feeling around the team playing against Southern Miss?
Well, believe it or not, that game I was out for, I want to say that was an injury.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't play that game because Joe actually they rushed the ball so many times. I think Joe had like 30 plus rushes that game. And it could have been actually, yeah. So I didn't play that game, yeah, because I remember walking and like, what you doing? Like, it's like no, I'm playing this game. So, yeah, I don't get it twisted though, because it was at practice with the guys, and it was like, man, we got smashed from these guys a couple years ago. We got killed. Oh my goodness. So let's go out here. Let's do it. And we had a safety by the name of Hiram at the time, and Hiram was Hiram was a monster. Like, I mean, Hiram was really a monster. Like, you should see him in the weight room. Like, he was a monster. But defense to me was better, and you had some good players out there. And Joe was a monster on the ground. What Joe might have had 200 rushing yards that game, possibly. I don't remember the numbers, but I just remember him. And when when we won at the end, I remember jumping up on the gate, then our team ran up to me, and then the fan was on this side. I was in the gate, and so then I got in the locker room in the back, hugging everybody, coaches, everybody excited. I remember Big Hilton coming up to me. All right, now you good? Can we throw the ball now? And after when you realize like the quarterback can rush 30 plus times, you're like, okay, yeah, you gotta. And you know what? It might have. Let me not say end. There's a possibility that could have been disciplinary action from me. That's a possibility. I take that back. I think that was disciplinary action if I remember correctly, because I wasn't taking my treatment serious. I do remember there was an opportunity for me to possibly play, but I wasn't taking treatment aspect of it seriously at all. I remember now. That's exactly what it was, because I was on the side. I was like with the crowds. That's when I had people come like, "What you doing? Like, what's?" And it was disciplinary action because of me not taking treatment seriously, not just giving my team what they deserve, giving people the UAB fan base that we have, everybody in my team, just what they deserve as far as putting everything out there that you're supposed to. So they got the job done. Won. We celebrated. Was just ready to get back out there and help my brothers and try to make a bowl run.
So that roller coaster season, that 2009, your redshirt junior season, came to a close with a 7-point loss to Central Florida that would have given UAB a bowl eligible record at 6-6. How frustrating was it to get so close and just miss out?
And when I, just thinking about it to this point, if I'm not mistaken, we were number one offensively in the conference, if not number one, top three. I know in that when it came to offensive yards. I want to say top 3 points possibly as well. Like I remember like out with Joe's senior year, our junior year that I'm thinking of, we were pretty good. We were pretty good offensively. Mm-hmm. And I want to say at one time I think we was like top 5 offensively in the country possibly. So it was I think I got to the point where I was doing well all purpose with the that year as far as in the country as well. Like I think we just did really well on offense. Yeah, that was. I remember that. Just remember thinking like this was the year like that was supposed to. We were supposed to break that hump. Get over that hump. Excuse me. It was tough when you think about it. Knowing how good we were offensively. Knowing that we had the best player in the I call him best in the country, but definitely the best player in the conference. And Joe that year. Joe was oh my goodness, Joe was an animal. There's some stuff I saw him do that season. Just remembering what he did that season. Man, we look back. I look back on that one sometimes because kind of thinking about the lesson from that. Just like when you don't do everything that you need to do, when you don't work hard, when you don't put that work in, and just doing what you're supposed to isn't enough. You got to go above and beyond. And got players who did that. Joe did that. Brian Turner did that. To be honest with you, to look back on my career, I remember reflecting to my just thinking how there was more I could have done from a work hard, just working harder, and that was something that I always look back as I got older because I never accepted what the truth was, and the truth was that I didn't work as hard as I should have worked. There was a lot of people who just was, who even younger guys, JJ Nelson, Jackie Williams, just looked up to me, and just a lot of different young guys that were just like, man, I came here, I see this 6'1", 230 linebacker playing receiver, and then like, wait a minute, he played receiver. And then when the game started, like, oh yeah, he that's the man. Like, but and guys are like, man, Trey, you worked hard, man. You NFL and whoop de whoop. And for me, I just wanted to play the game and do just enough. Like that's what it was for me. I got to do. The only thing I like doing is benching. I just bench. I want to max. I want to bench. So I always look back and think that I didn't give the UAB family, and that's fans, that's coaches, that's players. I didn't give them what they deserved, and I always wanted to send an apology to the UAB for that. When you get older, you realize you don't want to think about regret, but you want to think about the lessons. And I didn't do the things I should have done, and I actually used to lie about it. Like, oh man, I'm working too hard. I'm doing such and such, but no, I'm not going out there running routes all the time, every day, putting in the extra work, going out there catching. Yeah, I did it some, but I wanted to just enjoying college, just having fun, things like that. That once again, you see what working hard is, and what it takes to reach a new level. I know for a fact with hard work what I could have been, but I didn't put that work in, and that's okay. It wasn't that. It's what happened. It's something you can tell the younger guys. Something you can tell these. Put in this work. I just tell JJ. JJ called me. JJ used to call me little man. I just called him big man. And I remember JJ came to me one time and was like, man, bro, I want to put on some weight. I said, no. You just keep running. You just run. You're fine. Don't forget weight. Forget weight. Listen, forget it. It's not important for you. You go out here running sport too. You're fine. You listen. You saw that when he came in. Like, listen, you don't know. Forget weights. Don't care. Work hard. Yes, go to the weight. Listen, work hard. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't worry about trying to gain an extra 20 pounds. Like, but yeah, just to kind of touch back on what that season, my junior year, really, when I thought about it, like what it was, it's just like I just knew I felt like it was a window, and didn't I feel like I could have gave more, and I could have, but I made decisions that affected a 5-7 outcome that could have been a 7-5 outcome. So once again, I always wanted to get the opportunity to send my apology and my love to UAB, the coaches, the fans, the students, everybody, because I didn't do what should have been done when it came to the opportunity to be really elite, and I think I could have been that. And it is what it is. But I love UAB. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys, and I always wanted to tell you guys I'm sorry for that. So,
well, your junior season was one of the strangest seasons I've ever seen as a fan. UAB started off the season with a heartbreaking loss to Florida Atlantic 32-31. 2 weeks later, you guys had one of the greatest comebacks in UAB history against Troy. Without skipping to the end just yet, UAB trailed 23-0 at one point in that game, and you guys trailed by 6 with 1:09 remaining, and you had to go 99 yards. Do you remember what was said before going out on the field, or the feeling on the team as you went out there? Go ahead.
Senior season.
Yes.
Senior season. Okay.
Yeah.
Senior season. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
What was said before going out in the field, or what was the feeling on the team like going to that final drive?
Ooh, man, listen. Mike Jones was dealing with I want to say a little leg injury at the same time, a little bit, I want to say. So it was like, but we had, he wanted, bro, I'm out here. We gotta do this. But it was still, we felt like we had enough time. Like Brian Ellis could toss that rock.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Ellis can toss that tater. So it was Pat Shedd was a really good running back. Like
it was.
Really good. Like I always talk to him a lot of times, though, when I say, like, I see you get hawked from the back. Like, just want you to know I see you get run down, even though you picked up 20 yards. You just have fun with Pat. But like I said, we had some talent out there. So it was confidence. It was like, let's go ahead and do it. Like, look, they had Jackie out here, the young guy, and it was shaky, but butterflies. But it was like, man, we can do it. Let's go ahead and do it. And what a 4th down conversion by Pat Shedd. Was it a 3rd and long or 4th and something like that? And Pat Shedd converts, and it was like, oh, okay. I think I caught 2 passes to inches up closer and closer. And
yeah, two big catches to keep that drive moving. One of them I think was a crossing route, and you ended up getting pretty good amount of yards on it. Got us close to about the 40 or 50 yard line, but that helped set up the Hail Mary throw from Brian Ellis to Jackie Williams.
Yeah.
Take us through what happened on that final play from your perspective, because I know you were right there when he called it. What was going through what did you see? What was your perspective?
It's so funny because by this time Mike's leg was fully dead, so I'm like, oh man, I remember him. By the time his leg fully dead, but Jackie, look, that's my guy. That's my young guy right there. Out of Mobile. That's family. So he was hungry. I always been hungry. That's just how his nature was too. But it was like in my mind, I'm finna make this catch. Like there was nothing in. I'm finna go make this catch over somebody's head, and that's what it's finna be. And when we got down there, I just remember running all the way down, and then I saw the ball going down. The defenders grabbed me and pulled me back, like literally pulled me back. But you're not getting a PI on the Hail Mary. It's just not going to happen. But even though that was really obvious, but I remember the ball going up and thinking as soon as it went up, I was just thinking to myself, "Oh, I can't get to the ball. I'm literally getting pulled away from the opportunity to go make a play on it." And when I saw it come down, I was like, and this is funny, but I always talk about people and their ball skills. I'm like, oh, you guys DBs suck. Because Jackie did only thing Jackie did was, and it was, of course, he made a great play. I'm not talking about Jackie. I'm talking about the defenders. I'm like, you guys just didn't even touch the ball. Like, I've never liked to watch Hail Marys and see a receiver catch it. Not from a standpoint of just that, but like, how do you not? I guess it was something I feel like I was, blessed to have the ability to time a ball and whatever, make a play, whatever it may be. But I always found it funny when a Hail Mary is caught. It's funny to be like, you suck if you're a DB and it's caught, but not literally, but it's funny to that. But when I saw it go up and when I saw Jackie come down, when I saw it in his hands, oh man. And because there was a controversy. Was he in? Oh, he was in. We gonna make sure he was in. So I remember catching it coming down. I remember being right here, and it was like the line right here. Can the ref see? Ref, you better come on, ref. You can. This is a touchdown, and you saw the hands go up, and it was just it was all that. So man, those are some of the things I remember thinking that you DBs suck. Thinking, Mike is out here. Mike, you don't need to be out here with your leg injured. Get somebody out here before we throw this Hail Mary. But Mike, whatever, and then getting dragged away, so I can't make a play on the ball, and then to see it come down and Jack can catch that thing and his touchdown. That was like his coming out game. I think he had over 100 yards that game, and oh man, it was what a feeling. It was a great feeling. Then I had a buddy player, a couple buddies on the other side. On the other side from Troy, Tobias Gill was one of my guys' favorite receiver for him, but it was good to get that W because I can talk some noise to him, even though every time we got together he'll just do like this and he'll have like 2 or 3 rings on from conference championships and stuff, and I'm just like, golly. But it's a good feeling. It was an amazing feeling that game.
I'm all for the Troy trash talk, man. It's all about. I'm about it, man. I'm about it. But and for all those that wanted to know confirmation, Frantrell Forrest confirmed it. That was a touchdown, and not that the Blazer faithful needed any confirmation on that. We knew it. But
tell you, he was 5 to me. He was 5 yards in the end zone. I don't know what they were looking at. They was 5 yards in the end zone. What are we talking about here? Come on now. What are we talking
about? Well, I hate to bring it down, but the very next week, heartbreaker. 2 overtime loss at Tennessee, 32-29. What do you remember from that game?
I don't deserve this right now. That's what I'm saying. I can just remember thinking the whole time, like, we can beat them. Like we're good. Like and you tell me if I'm wrong, because my senior year we were pretty good on offense, statistical wise as well, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Brian Ellis, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I like to say shout out to David Isabel, by the way, because David was. If David in his mind thought just run first. All David had to do was, David, look, you're good. You're gonna be able to run this ball like so. You're gonna be able to do all that, but you are a quarterback. Pass first. Like I'm telling you, like you're good. But you can pass the ball. It was times like that's why things happen because David had time to. He could pass, but he just ran, because he was good and he was fast, thing like that. But I just want to say shout out to David Isabel, man. Just wanted to say shout out to David, man. But anyway, and that's no shade, by the way. I love David. No shade at all. But just play at Tennessee, it was like, and then I remember looking and like, I'm like, these what SEC cornerbacks look like. Like I'm like, and I remember that, I've definitely had some times going to be as SEC receivers. I even going back to my redshirt sophomore year, redshirt junior year, we played Tennessee with Eric Berry there, and I remember killing Tennessee that year. I remember, I think head coach Phil Farmer or something. He remember him coming on there saying we're going to play a lot more top receivers like Frantrell Forrest. I remember the wide receiver coach for Tennessee running from the other side to our side at the end of the game just to come shake my hand, like, that type of deal, and breaking somebody's neck on the stiff arm. So I remember, definitely going up against my share of SEC receivers. SEC cornerbacks. But it was just these short cornerbacks over there for Tennessee, and I was just like, man, we're gonna kill them. And Mike started the part off great because Mike was having a great game. Mike Jones had a great game. That Tennessee game, me and Mike was going, back and forth together. We was just killing the guys. But as an offense, we was doing well. So we were doing well on offense. I do remember thinking to myself in overtime, it was down here. I don't remember if we didn't score. We kicked a field goal because we had. I want to say because I know we had the opportunity to win, but I was in one-on-one coverage. And I know we had some type of play drawn up. But I remember being in one-on-one coverage. It wasn't going to me, but it was just like I'm over here really trying to get Brian attention. Like, listen, we're over within 20 yards. I want to say like on 20-yard line, something like of that nature. I'm like, listen, I don't get one-on-ones often because they're not going to really put me in one-on-one. Like, let's just throw the goal. I promise you I'm going to catch the ball over his head, but it just didn't happen that way. And man, we had had some nice talent. I remember TJ Ballou played cornerback. TJ Ballou was a really good cornerback. I really like TJ Ballou. He had a good interception that game. And he did pretty well. But that was tough. I mean, it was tough because we could have won. Like we really could have won that game. I remember my sister calling me and telling me, listen, I went into she went to like a restaurant / bar or whatever, and she was sitting up there at the bar ordering food, and they had all the games on. And she made them put the one TV on UAB. She said by halfway through, the game, everybody had got into her game. So they didn't turn to all the games on the UAB Tennessee games. And she was like, man, that's my brother right there. And it was like, oh, things like that. So it was like, man, I remember her telling me that. And I just remember thinking we could win this game, wishing that somebody, wishing I could get one more. I throw the ball up over here. Let me catch this and let's win this game. And remember the receiver catching the ball in the back of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chase. Chase, I'm mad at you, Chase. But I'm talking Noah. I'm talking Noah. And that guy ended up going to the NFL. I forgot his name. He was a good guy. He was a good receiver. He caught the ball in the back of the end zone to win it. I remember thinking, like, I could have been just put me at safety. Like, they're not gonna catch anything deep. Like, that's how it was frustrating. Wishing I could have got the ball, one more opportunity to get the ball, one more play call, one more something. Just so frustrated at the loss. It was a hard fought game that we could have won, and just upsetting. That's what I remember about it. Just knowing we could have won that game, but it was a fun game, good game, but we lost. And just once again, I always hated losing. It always did something to me.
Well, the close game trend continued a few more times that season. A 5-point loss at Mississippi State, but then you got on the winning side of it with a 50-49 double overtime win at Southern Miss. Yep. What was it like to beat Southern Miss at their house in your final season?
Oh, that was great. That was the best. Oh man, that's some of the best feeling. And if you tell me if I'm wrong, that put us at around 5-5, maybe.
That was it would have been. I think that was the 8th game of the year. So yeah, that was
That was 8 games.
Mm-hmm. So I think that would have put us at 4-4. I think
4-4. Okay, 4-4. Something. It was something.
3-5, 4-4, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I thought it was the 5th win because I remember thinking to myself, we had 2 or 3 more games left, and just in my mindset. And when we got inside the locker room, I just remember Brian like, hey, Here's let's take a shout out to us going to a bowl game, because we just remember thinking those last 2 or 3 games we had, we were better teams, like to just outright just thinking we're better than those other teams, and then that's we're looking ahead and more than farther than we're supposed to. But just remember thinking like, no, we can win all 3 of these, all 2 of these, whatever it was that was left over. But that was a great feeling. We had a field day on offense. Big Jeff, my guy, catching the OT, the double OT game clincher. Once again, an explosion on the offensive side of the ball, and hard fought game. I got a chance to gloat a little bit to 2 of my bros on Southern Miss side over there, and once again, it was my guy CJ, then my other guy Big Ant, and once again, it's always been a pleasure to beat Southern Miss. When you lose 70 something to whatever, I want 10 or something like that. My redshirt freshman, sophomore year, one of those 2. When you lose like that, you want every opportunity to win, get the W, to embarrass. You want all that, because to this day, if I talk to my guys, and one of them, we still beat you 72 whatever. But great, great feeling to beat Southern Miss in double overtime, and just that grit. Brian putting it right there in his chest to catch the game winner. Big Jeff once again. It was a great feeling, especially to be in their house to do it. So.
Well, sadly, the following week, your season ended prematurely with a knee injury in the final seconds of a loss to Marshall. How hard was it to miss out on those final games in your college career?
We're going back to times of shedding all kind of tears and all kind of regret back then. I probably, from that time and the next 3-4 years, man, it's staying positive on the outside, but being a complete wreck on the inside. Thinking, Trey, you should have left your junior year. Trey, you talking to yourself in third person, and just being upset, thinking like, why was I even on the field when the game was actually over? Thinking, just wanting to blame everything and everybody else, and it was tough. Then you try to stay positive, but I was in shambles, because I always knew I was going to the NFL. There was no doubt about that in my mind. It's no doubt that I wanted to be out there with my brothers playing. It was tough once again, but I can always keep a smile. I can always stay positive and always tell others, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, and you keep working hard and all this other stuff, and being supportive. Yeah, but it was, man. I can't lie to you. It was a different feeling after that, because I still remember the play to this day. I remember getting a cheap shot by the Marshall safety the play before. And the game over with, I'm frustrated, I'm mad that we're finna lose this game. But, I got a cheap shot. So next play, I'm finna just go and I'm finna go tag him. And it was out of anger. And I just still remember thinking to myself, when I went to do it, I cut and I heard a pop. But I'm, and I'm like, okay, but I'm cool though. I'm all right. And I kind of moving on and jumping on it. I'm like, that must not have been a big deal, And then get that night, still moving on and thinking. And I told Mike Jones, our trainer, he was like, okay, yeah, everything, we're gonna check it out. We'll check it out in the morning and all that good stuff. And then waking up that morning and not being able to put no pressure on it. None. And when that happened, there's no weight I can bear on this leg. I remember getting help to the trainer. And when I got back there, I remember telling Mike, I remember him examining the knee, and I remember him just looking at me. He was like, man, bro, Trell, I'm sorry, man. It's just like an ACL tear. And I just, it was a different mental state for me on the inside, but still positive on the outside. Still, it's all right. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna make it. 2-3 games left in that season, and once again, you question everything. I should have left your junior year. You should have. why was I in the game? You know, I remember my pops, rest in peace to the late great Frantrell Forrest, my dad, who passed August of last year. Remember him, you know, being upset at the coaches for me being in the game. I remember all these different things because, you know, and we you know, felt we had opportunities after college football. So was confident in that. Thinking about I could have played in the Senior Bowl. I had opportunity, you know, possibly to play in the Senior Bowl, all these different things. And how I always think about, you know, I always think about how that ended. Just once again, wishing it you know, it didn't happen that way. But you know what? It goes back to me saying what I said a little while ago when I actually wanted to give my apology to UAB, because maybe if I worked harder, not even maybe, if I put in the work that was supposed to be put in, if I did the things I was supposed to do, extra effort, not doing just enough. And this is something I did all the way up until my senior year. Just wanted to play the game, just wanted to do enough, and work out a little bit here and there, do a little bit extra here and there, but not really doing what I was supposed to. Like, had I done those things, could have been strong. The leg would have been more so trained, and to the point of where I don't make it's strong enough not to resist, ACL tear. It's things that goes back to working hard and putting in that extra effort that I always talk to, when I speak to some younger guys when they, football, you play football? Yeah, play football. Make sure you're working hard. Make sure you're doing this. Like, it's not about just working hard. It's not about doing just enough. Do extra. You should be doing this. And I always, since I graduated, when I see football guys, talk to younger guys, I always tell them about that. I always tell them about myself. I tell them that I didn't work hard. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I play. When I got out there, I felt like I was the best player on the field. That's mentality wise, all that. But it's when you get older, you realize, as a man, the lessons that you learn. And that was a lesson. My lesson was, it wasn't meant for you to go to the NFL. You didn't work hard enough to go to the NFL, and that's okay. That's all right. That's when you're calling. That's okay. And you be there, you be an ear, you be a mouth for those younger guys to show them what it takes to get to that level, because you know what it takes, and you could have done those things, but you didn't. So show them, give them those lessons. I still have people to this day, why you won't coach? You know so much. And even once again, I talked to my receiver coach from time to time, Coach Bowens, who's kind of moved around a little bit, and Coach Bowens, like, man, all that football knowledge, because we would be in film room, and it'll be like, Coach, because he'll tell me do this, do that, and I'm definitely there, but I'm like, Coach, if you look at this, how this is set up, like, Joe, a lot of times, and nothing against our O-line, love my guys, but sometimes even Joe's was under some pressure. So I'm like, Coach, if I cut it off right, if I cut it off and make this quicker and do this, Joe can get it out quick, whoop the whoop, and we can, and he'll tell me, well, you got to think about the play too. Understand that this has to be set up for this. But I see what you're saying, because we do want to, sometimes, if you're getting pressure, if you cut it off and do such and such. So we had those different conversations where sometimes it'd be a little combative, but it was more so just, I understood too. I understood a lot about the game. Understood about the talent on our team. Understood what what I thought it, was just difference of opinion, and having I think a football mind. So yeah, man, it's once again special times, growing times of learning and lessons, and just I can't take nothing away from my time in UAB. I love it. I miss it. Once again, man, UAB forever, Blazers for life.
I will say, Frantrell, I really appreciate the honesty. I will say, and this is something I would probably do towards the end, but I appreciate the honesty and everything. And I know that the Blazer faithful really do appreciate everything that you did for, UAB. And I know it's easy to look back on it now, hindsight and everything, but I know that we appreciate the effort, and, even just going out there, especially looking at it from the fact that we didn't have a team for 2 years. I know we were appreciative for everybody that we had, and everybody and all the effort that we put in. So, or that you guys put in. So, thank you for that. But, you talked a lot about the teammates that you had on the team, on your several teams that you were on, but Who were some of your go-to guys to hang out with off the field, and what were some of your favorite hangout spots maybe around Birmingham?
Oh man. Oh, let's see. The fun thing about the team was, the team was really a big family. It really was. I probably like on a daily go-to basis, we'll be in probably Joe room. It'd be like Joe, Sly, Sylvester Mensa, Jeff, Marquise. I'll be with that's VA, who was there for I remember Mark Fair. That's what we call VA. Rodell, one of the receivers. That was probably on a daily. We'd be kind of be in Joe room playing the game. If we go out different places, I was a big Al's guy too. I don't listen. If you're in Birmingham, I don't know. It isn't. Al's was it. That was just. I had to go get the veg. Listen, people. Listen. Get the veggie baker, add chicken or steak and shrimp. Listen to me. And add barbecue. Listen, that's everything. But anyway, that was love me some Al's back then. We kind of went to has a few clubs here and there that we went to. I can't just. It was one particular spot that we went to. Just it was all the time, and I'm gonna remember this after the show today.
I might be able to help you out. Where was it?
It was God, what area is this? So you remember? I don't know if you remember Green Springs.
Yeah. I actually live right on Green Springs. Go ahead.
Okay, it was this big white, huge, gigantic building. This is where people used to come for the classic. If we you go to the little parties that they had for the classic after.
I think I know. You're making me draw a blank now.
Listen, oh my goodness, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna remember.
No, I thought I had something, but no.
I can find out. And then it's funny because I'm talking to a couple of the bros, and it was such and such, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you're right. I'm drawing a blank, but it was a lot of people came from for the classic. It was like just huge at the time there. But it was just kind of just different places, go to like I said, for the most part, kind of be playing the game with the fellas. Once again, I had some great Wing Plus was my spot on Green Springs, but forever and ever. When I moved on Green Springs, I forgot what was the apartment's name. What was some apartments off New? It was some apartments off Green Springs. It's kind of like almost like where a lot of people moved into coming off the campus, off the dome, out of the dome. But anyway, it was throw some house sets and have the team come through and have a good time, man, and
nice
stuff like that.
Okay. Well, what was your favorite thing about playing for UAB?
My brothers, my guys, teammates, the bond. Shout out to a few of my guys, Trey Ragland. Shout out to Trey, man. That's my guy. Adam Bobo. Shout out to a lot of my guys. Big Zach, man. It was the camaraderie. It was the love, just genuine love as a team, man. It was everything. Just once again, for me, it definitely gonna be my brothers. And yeah, don't get it twisted. Forever and ever will love football and being out playing the game and catching the ball over people, telling you why I had the best hands in the world. Don't worry about it. You'll see it. Things like that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna miss the camaraderie with my brothers. So that was probably the big thing for me.
So who were some of your role models growing up, and maybe who got you into football?
My brother, so immediately speaking, it would be my biological, my actual big brother, Francis, named after my dad, Frantrell Forrest. He was just always, man, my guy. Always protected me, make sure I was good. Growing up, I was a little bro. Like he always made sure I was good. We had different moms, so we didn't live together, but I always would go stay with him. He'd come stay with us and things like that. And he was fast. So like my brother my brother was probably born running the 4.4. I'm no exaggeration. Like he's just like, and of course I'm exaggerating when I say 4.4, but like, I mean, just, it was nothing. He was just always fast. That's what he was known for, is being fast. And, you know, if he would have got an opportunity, if he was like trained, he was like 5'9", but just fast, like super quick, like, which so upset about, because like, I'm like, man, you got, you know, dad speed. My dad was like known for being, they call him Mr. Speed. You know, he got a scholarship playing basketball. Actually had like a 91 mile per hour fastball. You know, was good at baseball. Didn't have quite all those opportunities as far as to do other things, but he did get an opportunity to play, according to my uncle, and he actually showed me some things. He had the opportunity to play Major League Baseball, but the mindset wasn't that it was about working and just being here. Didn't think about risking time now to go attack this opportunity and then maybe go to the Major League Baseball, go to the pros. But it was about working hard now, because you got to be here for the family and do this and do that. So that's, you know, that's a different era. My dad was born in 1944, but you know, the things I hear about, man, and you know, my dad was known as Mr. Speed, and his track team set this great 4x1 record out of Mobile at one time. And like I said, man, my dad had all these trophies from tennis, because he was a big tennis guy as he got older. Like, won these different champ. Didn't play professional, but he was, you know, all the local things and go out of town here and there. Won, you know, first place, second place. Like, he was really good in tennis. Once again, I saw pictures of him called Mr. Speed, and I went to Alabama State, things like that. And baseball, like I said, just my dad, man. That's my hero. Once again, just he was called home, like I said, last year, August 30th, 2021. Still miss him every day. So supportive. He got off work to drive me to all the practices since park ball. Take me to my games on Saturdays. Go catch my brother game across town. He was it. That was my guy, and he the one who always supported me. You know, I was a pretty good basketball player. He was at all the basketball games. He was everything. Driving, when we got to college, man. You know, one thing that's funny. My dad, Pat White, played for West Virginia, out of Daphne. Steve Slayton. They were my hosts when I went on my visit to West Virginia. Pat White's dad, I think, they tell my dad stories about, he wore Stetson and Stetson hat and everything. My dad was getting real comfortable. My dad had his Stetsons, and you know, I think, you know, my dad would, you know, knew that this was this big. He, you know, that's what he wanted. He knew facility wise and bigger school wise. He's like, listen, just get your foot in the door. You know, you there. They want you. You got Coach Rich Rodriguez coming to your basketball games, like all this stuff. That's how bad they want you. You know, they think you'll be done in 3 years. And it felt like, you know, I wish could have had him let him possibly getting that Stetson more, because I think it was something about the cold weather and where that Stetson he wanted to do. But man, yeah, man, that's my pops. That's my hero. That's my guy. That was the one who supported me all the way through. And don't get, you know, this is the same man who came into my mom's life when, at the time, you know, I have two older sisters who are not biologically my dad's. Came in their lives, and they're around 5 and 6 and 7. You know, but when my dad left, they called my dad. Like, he was that. He's dad. That was for them. So it was not biological, none of that. This is the man who came in my mom's life when she started her first time battling cancer with 2 kids. This is the man who my father was. Man, it was this great guy, this great man. So you got this guy who was with my mom battling cancer for over 30 years and was there with her every step of the way, who was all of my games every step of the way, who was supporting each one of his kids, 2 not biological, but that there's no not biological when it comes to my dad and those 2. That's who the hero was, on that field, off the field, on the court, off the court. It was him. And to know I got pedigree from him, athletic wise, mental wise, when it comes to sports, it was all him. You know, I wish could have got his speed. You know, that's one only thing Listen, that's the only thing I'm like, Pa, just why can I get that 4.3 that you had? Because look, my brother, like I said, my brother probably could have with training probably ran a 4.3 flat, possibly, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad used to say, and was serious, like, your brother fast, and but he's more quick than fast. And I'm like, the 4.4 is quick, and then, like, but your brother couldn't hold my track cleats. Now, like, man, like that make you think. And I've seen 4.2s and stuff like that. So it's like this guy, and I think my dad is part Jamaican, so I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right, because those that's what that speed you hear but that was him. That was the hero. That was the guy, role model. That was everything on the field and off the field. You can think that you want to out of a man. And I thank God every day that He made my dad my dad. So that's it.
Well, that's awesome.
Got
So Frantrell, how's life now?
Man, life is amazing. The reason it's amazing because every day you wake up, it's a blessing, and we forget that. Everybody that don't, whatever, and if you don't, that's good. But the common person will forget that every day is a blessing. From the bottom of your feet to the top of your hair follicles, I promise you, it's a blessing. It's you get the things, you go through life. You may think to yourself like, it's tough, it's hard. You're not the only one. Stay positive. Keep working hard. Keep moving forward. It's one thing to go through life. It's another thing to excel in life. Excel in life doesn't mean that you're making the millions and millions of dollars. You think about that when you're young. You think about excelling and meaning something and doing something that's making millions of dollars. Don't get it twisted. I would love to get $1 million. I still plan on getting $1 million someday, soon. But it's a blessing, man. Every day is a blessing. Every moment is a blessing, and that's it. You can't. Tomorrow will take care of itself, and of course you can prepare for tomorrow. Not talking about your plans for your business and things like that, but tomorrow will take care of yourself. Enjoy the day. Take that day and live it to the fullest. That don't mean you can just not do anything, but that means you take the opportunities you have. Be thankful for the job you have. I know it's a 9 to 5. You don't feel like getting up and going to, but work hard at it. You got the opportunity to do something. You can work on your dreams and your goals. By the end of the day, you should be working on your dream and your goals, because the 9 to 5 you work, that you are, that you're blessed to have that 9 to 5. You're helping the man who had that dream, and it took him time to get to that point. Mm-hmm. So definitely, be thankful of the 9 to 5, but be working toward your goal, your dream. Be working toward having the employees under you, and you being that man. Be happy and thankful for the family that you have, the people that supported you all your life, been there for y'all life, been praying for you all your life. Man, be thankful for those friends you got, like the ones who are really friends. And to the haters and all these other people, just pray for them. Don't try to, I hear a lot of people talk about having a small circle, and they have a small circle for a reason, because you got these different leeches, you got these different people that hate you for no reason, all this different stuff. But in my beliefs, it's I believe and thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ every day, because to me, had Jesus had a small circle, I don't know where we would be. But he had the biggest circle of them all, and he even said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So he had the mindset of forgetting what's happening to me, forgetting the persecution, forgetting what I'm going through. I still want to bless and love everybody, and that's everybody. And that's the mission you can take for the ones. You don't have to believe. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to believe in anything I believe, but you can take that lesson where we hate a lot. There's a lot of hate in the world. It's just what it is. It's in the world. But if we can all look at each other one day as brothers and sisters, I know that's hard. I know African Americans have dealt with for over 400 years. I just know everything that's going on in the world. It's tough, but once again, I understand one day when this ends, we're not going to have these different colors. when this is over. Go be in another place where there's no color, and we just all brothers and sisters. So if we can start taking that now,
Yeah.
and just looking at each other like brothers and sisters, that's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's the kind of what I think about is every day is a blessing. Everything's a blessing. Every moment. The tough times is a blessing too. It makes you better.
Yeah.
It's a lesson. It's a lesson. Help somebody. That's kind of how I go. That's how I feel, man. Every day, everything is a blessing.
So how can my listeners interact with you?
I don't know if you want to interact with me all the time because I can my social media can get a little vulgar sometimes. There's some things you may not want to hear, but yeah, man. I'm on Instagram. Instagram, my IG, and I'll tell you. And listen, I have a dark sense of humor too. So listen, people don't take anything personal. Like we don't want to do that. This is just everybody don't have to believe, have the type of opinions and laugh at things I laugh at. And if I offend you, I apologize, But I'm on Instagram. It's Trell7. That's TRELL7. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can look me up by my name. I'm sure you go find 100 Frantrell Forrest, which you're not. I'm just being funny. There's no other Frantrell Forrest on earth, in my opinion. That's Frantrell, Frantrell, Forrest, Forrest. I'm on Facebook, that'll make you laugh sometime. And like I said, you might not find some of the things funny, but it is what it is. Those, my social medias there. I'm on Snapchat too, I think. I'm on Snapchat. Yep. I get on Snapchat from time to time. If you want to hop on Snapchat, I think my name on Snapchat is, you can find me by my name as well, but it's Trailblaze7. It's TRAILBLAZE7, Trailblaze7. I'm on those different sites. Once again, don't come following me and stuff like that, and then you have a problem with me.
He's giving.
Got a problem. Hey, if you got a problem, say something to him. I'm gonna hey, I didn't mean it that way, bro. Nothing like that. And, I thought it was funny because it was like this. This how but that's not. That's not. Everything ain't for everybody. So.
Give it a warning sign. That's all right. I'll take it. All right, Frantrell, I got one more question for you. It's a lighthearted question I give all my guests, just kind of keep you on your feet. Okay. So, or keep you on your toes. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You can pick 3 people from any time in history to have dinner with. Who would you want to have dinner with?
Any people, 3 people, right?
Yeah, any 3 people.
Any 3 people would right now would be my pops, number 1.
All right.
One more dinner with pops, just to hear some of his jokes and just talk to him with pops. Me and my pops would go in. We had a shed in the backyard growing up in my backyard, and my dad worked in the Department of Human Resources, working the scene. People. I want to say something. My lady right now, and I'd say future wife. But my lady right now works in the Department of Human Resources for the state of Alabama, and she deals with the kids and the things that these people deal with, I never understood until now. Like, 'cause I see what she goes through. So my pops went in the shed. He may have a glass, a Crown in the purple bag with a glass of ice, may smoke a cigarette, which he stopped. And it was funny how he stopped. He just immediately stopped one time too. It was just funny because, people say how hard it is. I'm like, Pop, just stop. But anyway, he would go in the shed and I would come out there at nighttime when he out there just sitting there relaxing. And we just talk about whatever and then everything. And just used to be, what I want to do, my goals. You think you're going to be playing that last stadium, which is where, was the biggest stadium in Mobile at the time, things like that. Senior Bowls was at the top, that makes sense, that last. So I think you're going to be playing out there, these stuff we just talk about. So it's Pop's number 1 for sure.
Okay.
Number 2 would have to be my grandma, Woody Mixon, who I lost before we played South Carolina redshirt sophomore junior year. I had one of my close buddies from growing up in Mobile, one of my guys, Captain Monley. He went to NFL for some time, and I remember him telling me I was supposed to guard you that game because I was injured. I wasn't gonna play because I was injured, but the night before, that's when my grandma passed, And he just told me like, yeah, I was supposed to guard you. Like you were my assignment. I was like, man, I'll go kill you. Like, just have some fun, competitive nature. Like I said, he had a great career in the NFL. Good career. But yeah, Woody Mix and my grandma, I would call and we'll say that prayer before the games at night. So it was Woody Mix. My third, oh goodness, that's a tough one because I definitely have some other family members who I love. I miss some friends I love and miss that are not here. That third dinner would probably be my favorite athlete of all time. Probably be Deion Sanders.
Okay. All right.
I tell you what, 3A, 3B would be Deion and Randy Moss. Those are my favorite player of all time. I can remember a funny story is, I don't know if this is true. Redshirt freshman year, after redshirt freshman year, there was a guy who came in there. Came to my house. Hey, I'm the agent of Randy Moss. Just wanted to, put my name out here, get my name out here with you guys. He was talking to my dad. Hey, his son seems like he has some potential to, reach that level. Once again, this guy could have been just some type of shyster saying he Randy Moss agent or whatever, or could have actually been. I didn't remember getting a name or whatever, and just that and the third, but I just remember, and of course, just a lot of different messages I got all the time from these different agents just coming after my redshirt freshman year, which I was just like, I didn't even do a lot. Like I did okay. I thought I had an okay season, but I guess, the potential was there. So, yeah, man, those Deion, Randy would be my 3A, 3B. Those, Pop's grandma. Also just like to end it by, a little shout out to my mom who found out, she's still cancer free after 30 plus years of battling.
That's
breast
awesome.
cancer, leukemia, Hodgkin disease, and she pushing over there, pushing, grinding, getting through it every day, and it's a blessing to still have that strong strength in my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
so good.
brother.
Well, Frantrell, man, I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. I know my listeners will too, and once again, I know we're really appreciative of everything you did. We all love the green and gold, so we're really appreciative of all y'all did. Y'all had some fun memories.
Yeah.
But man, I really appreciate it. I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you for the opportunity. Hey, don't be a stranger. All the good stuff, man. I love to do it again. Man, but yeah, man, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, go Blazers.
Yeah, go Blazers all day, every day. Let's do it. And shout out to my Florida family. I call them Florida family down here talking a lot of noise. Who I let them know, I got to defend the whole state of Alabama. So like, what are we talking about? We talking football? Alabama from the road through all you. We talking about UAB rolling through everything. What are we talking about? So shout out to Florida fam. Yeah. You don't want it. Appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate it, Frantrell.
Thank you.
All right. Once again, I'd like to thank Frantrell for all that he shared. Frantrell was one of those players I loved watching for the Blazers during my teenage years because it just seemed like every time he touched the ball, he was doing something fantastic. I really appreciate his honesty and being 100% real with me. I know the Blazer faithful is proud to have him as one of the sons of the UAB football family. And that's going to do it for episode 38 of the Dragon's Den. Be sure to check out my social pages at Dragon's Den EFEL. Once again, that's at Dragon's Den EFEL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be on the lookout for my guest announcement for episode 39 coming soon. Thanks again for listening. Good night, and go Blazers.